MJBulls is proud to produce the Raising Cannabis Capital podcast. Today's episode will begin after this brief message from our sponsor.
This ain't no desk job, but it's what you got to do to scale up to this in a single growing season. It's how in Oregon alone we grew and harvested the single largest crop of CBG in the world. Grit, tenacity, hell, whatever you want to call it. The crew at Hamptown USA has it by the bucket load. Just getting our seeds in the ground back in spring and growing them till fall was nothing short of heroic. Propagation, planting, maintaining what we have, and building what we need. Trust me, this shit ain't easy. But when it comes to harvest time, our team bumps the bar up to a whole new level. Next comes processing. Everything but the top flower goes off to get turned into crude, distillate, isolate, and water-soluble ready. Our product, like our team, is nothing less than best in class. This plant has always had the power to change the world, but it needs people to make it happen. We're lucky to have those people right here at Hamptown USA.
Just like when you go to your doctor, they do some examination, they ask some questions, right? So we're going to collect some relevant clinical information to understand the patient's background, health background, if they have chronic conditions, and all of the big picture of their health.
From MJBulls Media, it's the Raising Cannabis Capital Show. Joining us today on the MJBulls podcast is Markie Esmailian from her company, IllumeSense. Hi, Markie. Welcome to the show.
Thanks so much, Dan. Thanks for having me.
Well, everyone knows, I hope everyone knows that cannabis is medicine. And most people will acknowledge it, but the biggest challenge with prescribing cannabis as a medicine is all the variables. There's over 100 cannabinoids, and each strain of cannabis has a different ratio. To make it even more complicated, it's a plant. So the ratios change from harvest to harvest. I mean, it's mind-blowing when you think about all the different ratios and different combinations that you can come up with. And I think that's the big challenge that doctors and caregivers and patients have, trying to determine what the correct dose or what the correct strain they should be taking. Can you talk more about that?
Oh, sure. So to really understand this, let's envision a 60-year-old man with back pain. And by the way, this person also has diabetes, and they're on opiates for their back pain, but it's not really working. They can't focus at work. They have a hard time with taking the opiates. So they've heard through the grapevine and online and stories that cannabis actually helps with back pain. So they go on Googling cannabis and back pain, and they find 300 pages of information.
Yeah, at least 300 pages.
At least 300 pages. And they start looking at products and what could possibly work for their back pain. But, there's nowhere that this person can find if they are diabetic. So is this going to hurt them? Is there a risk factor in taking cannabis? And by the way, they're going to have to walk down to a dispensary. And are they ready to do that? Not really.
Right. And they don't know whether to smoke it or what is a vape. They don't even know this stuff. Some of them, right? Because they've never taken it before.
Exactly. And also the whole stigma about walking into a dispensary, not knowing what you're getting and having to listen to a 22, 25-year-old who may be very knowledgeable, by the way, about what they're talking about, a 60-year-old professional wanting to trust a bartender to tell them what to take and spending $120.
And this is medicine. This is medicine. So you're trusting somebody with your life.
Exactly. So the challenge is that 60-year-old changes their mind because, there's too many challenges, too many unknowns. They don't know if the product is going to work or the medicine is going to work. They don't know the person that's suggesting it is legit or has the background and training to suggest it. And they're going to spend all this money and hours of research and get nowhere. So they give up. So now imagine the same person, the 60-year-old goes online and they come across our website and they are able to, on that site, talk to a nurse practitioner who is certified in cannabis care that can walk them through, educating them about cannabis and tools that are used to consume the medicine and dosing, all of that, and guide them through selecting a product that is trusted by them.
Yeah.
And now we're talking at a different level, right?
Oh, for
There's
sure.
a trust, and everyone trusts nurses, right?
I do.
So imagine that platform, and how we're using the platform is not only to educate and guide the patients and help them with medicine. There's millions of patients who go through the same scenario you just mentioned and never use cannabis as medicine. Mm-hmm. Now, this is creating an opportunity for all those patients who want the privacy, who want a professional person to guide them through and learn about cannabis so they can use it.
I want to take a minute to tell you about some really innovative things that our sponsor, Cream of the Crop, is doing in the cannabis space. Their brand is on fire. They have the 5th best-selling indoor flower brand in the state, and they're profitable, growing their business at 10% a month year to date. They're succeeding by helping cultivators turn profits through operation management and consulting in exchange for supply agreements. By bringing 30-plus years of cultivation experience, award-winning genetics, ultra-efficient SOPs, proprietary nutrient mixes, and their brand, they're able to help both operators who are new to the space and ones who want to just increase efficiency. In fact, they just increased profits for one of their clients by $700,000 per month. Just incredible. But what's really exciting is that they're expanding their highly scalable model beyond California. That's right, they're accepting applications across the country for 2021 and 2022 partnerships. Also, if you're planning to invest in cannabis, you should definitely look at Cream of the Crop because they're doing a capital round in early 2021 to help with their brand's national expansion. To learn more about partnering with Cream of the Crop or investing in their expansion, go to creamofthecropgardens.com. That's creamofthecropgardens.com. Well, I was on your website, IllumeSense.com. By the way, it's a fabulous website.
Thank you.
And I see that you are taking essentially surveys from cannabis users about their experiences with each strain and the dose and everything. Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. For anyone who wants to use our platform, just like when you go to your doctor, they do some examination, they ask some questions, right? So we're going to collect some relevant clinical information to understand the patient's background, health background, if they have chronic conditions, and all of the big picture of their health has to be in front of the provider. Mm-hmm. So they can help the patient and maximize their time with the patient and give them the right medicine, hopefully the first time, and saving them costs, anxiety, and all of that.
Sure,
so we're collecting all this relevant clinical information, and we're going to give it back to the patient. So mm-hmm. We're not collecting the data necessarily for us. We're giving that data back to the patient so they can have some more insights into their medicine for the future as well. As we aggregate thousands of patients' data, which is masked, by the way, we're not interested in marketing to these patients. We're interested in getting the information, clinical relevant information, and hopefully applying some machine learning tools that we are developing to have a bigger picture of strain, tools, effect on RX, and the best possible medicine and tools for a specific condition.
You're essentially creating this repository for actual results. I'm 60 years old. I have a back pain. I've been using this. I'm a diabetic. I took this strain. This is what the results were. You're going to zero in on a lot of answers that right now are just sort of, it's more of an art than a science right now. And I think what you're doing is converting it.
We hope to convert that. And don't take me wrong, we're going to need thousands of patients' information, the word big data and all of these other technology words around. And to have meaningful data, you really need a lot of data points and a lot of people to participate. This is why our platform is ready to scale, because we can essentially, this is a virtual cannabis care management platform. Yeah. So it could go anywhere in the world, and we can collect actual data from those who are using cannabis for medicine and collecting the global data and creating that clinical knowledge-based database.
And a lot of other companies that are doing research, I'm sure, will want to tap into the data that you have. And like you said, it's not personal. You don't ask for their name or anything personal. You just really want to know what their experience was.
Correct.
This is great. The only thing I see that's a little scary is it just seems like this is a very financially front-loaded business. How have you been funding it? How have you been funding it so far? And what are your future plans for funding?
Well, we've been bootstrapping.
Okay. All right.
Yes, it is a very tech-heavy and tech-driven, obviously, the platform that we're building. So we're going to need money, and we're hoping to have our platform be ready by end of this year to show to the investor community. And we're looking for anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 to hire the right marketing and other people that are going to help us scale our platform.
Yeah, well, it would be considered sort of a seed round for you. But it's between $3.5 million to get the engineers and the developers in place to get all your software and all this technology stuff is so front loaded. But what you've done so far is great. Now you're going to need some help. So
yes.
Anybody out there, I'm going to have all of Markie's information and IllumeSense information on the MJBulls website. And so you can get any of that information that you need. But Markie, this is some really important stuff that you're doing. I mean, you need to succeed. There's a lot of people that this would really help. So you need to succeed.
There's millions of people, honestly, that are too afraid to even explore cannabis because they don't have a single care provider that they can go to. That was me with my father. I didn't know where to go to get him help. And now I'm creating that for others like me and family members that need that help to get it.
Thank you very much for sharing this with us, and really good luck. I mean, I'm pulling for you because this has to work.
Oh, thank you so much, Dan. I appreciate the opportunity to be here and chat with you, and hope we can do it again.
Sounds great. It will happen. It will happen. Crappie's Feel Better Company is a cannabinoid CPG company with a line of easy-to-use CBG, CBD, and CBN products built for the weekend warriors, the weekday Zoomers, and anyone in between. Crappie's next-gen products incorporate pharmaceutical-derived chemistry to precisely blend minor cannabinoids and terpenes, creating a series of proprietary formulas for hyper-targeted use cases. Harnessing a team of experts with over 75 combined years of chemistry experience, the company relies on its novel solubility technology, state-of-the-art delivery, consistent results, and unique eye-catching branding to stand out from the crowd. Crappie's executive team and chemists have created a vast and diverse product pipeline to maintain relevance in a saturated market. To find out how you can participate in Crappie's Feel Better expansion, which includes major retail placements, university-executed clinical trials, IP and patent submissions, GMP and API scale-up, and international distribution, go to crappiesfeelbetter.com or on Instagram at crappiesfeelbetter. Today's show was made possible by the generous support of our sponsors, like Alt36, the country's premier blockchain payment processing platform that's providing dispensaries and its customers with a safe and secure payment option other than cash. To learn more, go to alt36.com.